What is up, everyone? It is Lovenji Gaming here, and I am back with another of the classic RTS series. Today we're taking on probably one of my favourites of the NOD Covert Operations missions. This was Cloak and Dagger, and really has you behaving true to NOD's form. But I won't spoil it, and I won't get into too long an intro, so without further ado, let's get this underway. What's up, everyone? Here we are with Cloak and Dagger. We have a single stealth tank, which you're going to want to take northwards. If you didn't read the mission text, basically we have to lure GDI away from their base and then secure our MCV. But this whole mission's very unorthodox, and it will not play out like a standard mission. Shoot the first building you see once and then disappear. You'll see that triggers these civilians to run towards the GDI base. That is important. You want that to happen, so as the GDI, or as the infantry run away to the GDI base, they will trigger these mammoth tanks to go and check out the village. You may notice the mammoth tanks were spread out in such a way that you wouldn't have been able to slip the stealth tank by them otherwise. So there you go. Triggering the villagers to get rid of the mammoth tanks means we can start to sneak around. Now, with regards to the GDI base, you're going to want to go all the way around the outside here to the most northernmost point, and then head westwards. And that will be a gap in the guard towers significantly, or big enough for you to slip through. Now, you want to make sure that you take the time to line that up, because if that goes horribly wrong, you will probably die. Another little mechanic, I'm standing next to the piece of wall that I want to shoot. Rockets in Command & Conquer have an accuracy, and if you're not directly next to something, you may shoot one of the GDI buildings. Now, if you damage your GDI building, the AI will trigger and they'll start to play. So it's very important that you don't do that. So we move the MCV up one. We buy a power plant and then we immediately sell it. Gives us 2 minigunners. They're not too important right now. Now, this is the important bit. And you are going to be on low power for a little bit, and I'm just messing around with the mouse cursor while I do. You're going to train some engineers. And it's very important to use hotkeys. Control and a number assigns an engineer to a hotkey group. So Control 1 means when I push 1, it will select that engineer. Control 2, another engineer. And Control 3, another engineer. You probably know how hotkeys work if you're watching an RTS dedicated channel. But in case you don't, it's very important here because you want to give a number of quick orders once you've got, I believe it's 4 engineers. Our goal is to put the GDI base offline. So, I'm just testing my hotkeys. And here we go. So, as you can see very, very quickly, we want to put as much of the GDI base offline as possible. If you're a bit quicker than me, you can sell some of those power plants as well to get even more money back. Now, the turrets we want to keep. The turrets are going to be the important bit of how we stay alive. Now, with that guard tower distracted, I can get my stealth tank to shoot at it. You'll notice that the GDI script still hasn't come online yet. It doesn't if you damage buildings. Or base defense buildings, even. So we're just going to mass up a bunch of gun turrets and start training even more engineers. With the AGTs offline, the GDI base is pretty vulnerable, and we can just build up any number of gun turrets within the base. Now, I am mindful of the fact that GDI still have a power plant on the furthest point of their base. It's just the one, but you should endeavour to capture that as well before you destroy terribly too many buildings. There is also a power plant outside the base. You can see on the sort of southeast portion of the screen there's a tech center and one more advanced power plant there as well that can bring this base back online if you're not careful. It's really annoying. I reset twice, and both times were because I forgot about that power plant down there when I started destroying everything. And the AGTs came back online before I had the ability to destroy them. So, as you can see, our turrets are doing wonders. They're just clearing away the GDI forces as quickly as possible. I'm going to build even more gun turrets because what we're going to do, what we have to do at some point, we're going to have to capture the barracks first and foremost, because when we trigger the AI, we don't want them to spend all their money on infantry.
Building.
I am also building a refinery because with a little bit of micromanagement, you can actually harvest for more money. And that takes away some of the risk. If you're going for a speed run, you typically won't build the refinery. You don't need it. But we're not speed running, we are being careful. Especially as I've already had to sort of restart this mission a couple of times. I am being especially careful. Trying to slip my stealth tank back out of the base. And the reason that we're doing that is because I want to try and deal with that power plant. Now, this wall that I'm placing, very important. GDI get an infinite spawn of APCs with engineers in them, and they will recapture your base, and they are annoying. They are absolutely infuriating, in fact. So I'm just going to wall that off so that the APC can dip in.
Construction complete. Cannot deploy.
And that was me just testing that the harvester couldn't get there because that means the APC can't get there. Now, remember, so long as you don't go adjacent to a unit, the stealth tank will not be revealed. So you can slip back out the base like that and go and explore the rest of the map. GDI have units positioned all over the map, which is why the caution, because they've still got quite a few tanks, quite a few infantry positioned all over the place. So, as you can see, as I shoot that power plant, tanks are starting to respond and starting to walk towards the base. The harvester is not intelligent, which is what I was alluding to when I said you need to be careful with the element of micromanagement if you are going to build a refinery, because the harvester will do whatever it can to get itself killed, as is kind of typical for harvesters in this game in general. I'm really struggling to control the stealth tank, as if you couldn't immediately tell. I'm hesitant to take my eyes off of the stealth tank in case it dies to something. And there you go. That is the last power plant on the map, which means GDI will no longer be able to put their base back online. And we can start to destroy the base defenses.
Construction complete.
So we've got plenty of gun turrets. What I'm using here is the harvester to... or what I'm trying to do, but doing badly because I'm not using control groups, is use the harvester to distract the guard towers. And then I realise I don't have enough funds to have a backup harvester if I mess that up. So I just give up. And we're going to shoot at GDI base. That's going to start pulling in the rest of the tanks. As you can see, a medium tank, the 2 mammoth tanks from the start of the game, and all the infantry. So we're trying to protect the infantry from the mammoth tanks. If the turret rotates, it will fire anti-infantry rockets, which will kill the infantry, of course. Our infantry that we got from selling all of our buildings, they are the anti-grenadier force. They're just going to come forward and deal with all this infantry as quickly as possible. Infantry are the counter to our gun turrets, our beloved gun turrets.
Our base is under attack.
Despite my best efforts, we do lose the harvester. There's the APC that I talked about. That APC is going to sit there and shoot away at our refinery. I actually opt to sell the refinery, because without the harvester it's not providing us anything anyway. We don't need the Hand of Nod either.
Building.
And I genuinely don't know what's in that Chinook. I am assuming grenadiers. That tends to be what's in these things.
Construction complete. Low power.
So, with a brand new full health harvester, I can distract the guard towers. The guard towers won't retarget, and so the infantry can rush the guard towers. You won't lose terribly many minigunners that way. Oh, engineers! Engineers are in the Chinook. There you go. There's engineers coming from down here as well. We still have access to a stealth tank because we didn't let it die. And we're just going to kill all those engineers. And repair our construction yard. Now, you may have seen GDI firing off the iron cannon. They will do that periodically, not very often. But all you have to do now is take your infantry and destroy what remains of the GDI base. You've got an economy, you've got infantry, you can do whatever you want really at this point of the game. It's very hard to mess this up. So it's important to take the stealth tank to the border of its range. And one of the reasons that you have to take the stealth tank to the border of its range is because if it tries to shoot from outside of its range, it will go one tile further than it needs to. You may have seen that when I was trying to destroy the power plant in the south. The stealth tank kept driving into the range of the guard tower instead of shooting from the edge of its range. And that's a common thing with most units in the original Command & Conquer. If they're out of range, they generally move further in range than they actually need to. So, our stealth tank can handily take out... there you go, there's that range thing I was talking about. Our stealth tank can handily take out GDI guard towers without, in theory, without being shot by them. And the advanced guard towers are never going to be online because we've taken out all of GDI's power at this point. I don't know why I'm building a second refinery, I guess, because I just really want that economy. But all that's left is to just tidy up the map. I'm leaving that... a minigun just walked through that concrete wall.
Construction complete.
So double refinery definitely means we're going to have an economy and we're going to be able to play this a bit like a normal game, even though the GDI are already eliminated. So we're just destroying what remains of the base defenses. Nothing special with that building, you can just destroy it, you don't have to capture it or anything like that. Sometimes in other missions that building plays the role of a prison, where you're expected to capture it and freeze stuff. And if you destroy it, it's mission over. Fortunately, that does not exist.
Unit ready.
I train a flame soldier just to deal with that one unit that was walking towards the base. The Hand of Nod is just for rockets because, as you may have noticed, 2 of the guard towers are encased in concrete, and you can't shoot over concrete with minigunners. So you need something like rockets, which is what I'm training now.
Building. Unit ready. Unit ready. Building.
Moving out, Roger.
Unit.
I've never understood how they intended you to do this mission. I don't know if this was the intended route, and that's why they made the script so passive, because the AI script is just, it doesn't do anything. Or if you were meant to run your MCV away and take a little bit of damage but get it out of the base. I never really knew what it was supposed to do. because the AGTs, you know, I can't see you running away because of the amount of AGTs they have, and the fact that their AI will activate and they've got units all over the map. I don't know. I've looked for quote-unquote normal ways to do this level, and I couldn't find any, but if you know any, by all means let me know. I would love to know if you have an idea for an unusual way to clear these levels. And just while I'm waiting for my obelisk to build, I'm destroying the village, because that's the Brotherhood of NOD way. They would destroy the village.
Construction complete.
Yep, so that obelisk is going to deal with the engineers without ever actually endangering us to capturing. And all we have to do is wander around the map for what remains of GDI. They are somewhere. Damaged stealth tanks do this thing where they stealth and unstealth. It's a really cool idea in practice, like the mechanics of it sound really cool. But that sound is so annoying. You wouldn't believe. But anyway, this level is more or less done at this point. We're just hunting out the remainder of the GDI engineers to the south. So I've been Lovenji, and I'll see you in the outro.
Construction complete. Building. Mission accomplished.
Well, that was Cloak and Dagger, and it's a little bit annoying. You might have to restart 1 or 2 times while you figure out the little kinks in the middle. I tried to call them out as I was recording the video, but there are always things that I always forget. Anyway, as always, like, share the video, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe, and let me know what you'd like to see me do in future videos. I'm coming to the end of Command & Conquer, which means we will be doing something new, of which I have a few titles lined up. Anyway, bye for now.